Welcome to Watch Me Go Broke. I am super excited about today's watch. There's only like one or two other reviews online about it, so I wanted to bring it to you as soon as I could. Now, I stumbled across this watch while I was looking for the Seagull 1963, and I thought, well, hey, this watch is probably for those guys that just can't really get into the Seagull 1963, whether it be the color or the materials used or the Chinese letters or something. You just can't get into it. You want to, but it's just not for you. Now, this is a watch that I got to kind of substitute my hunger for the Laurier Gemini Panda that's sold out, and I know there's a waiting list, but I'm not a big waiting list guy, and I'm also not a big paying an eBay premium kind of guy. So I wanted a watch that, looks very similar with the same specs, and I think I have found it. So let's awkwardly bend over a table and take a look at the Merkur Pierre Paulin Chronograph. All right, everybody, on my wrist today is going to be the Hamilton Field Khaki Mechanical Automatic. It's the 38 millimeter, really cool watch, lovey-dovey. All right, guys, not entirely sure why I said lovey-dovey there. I'm a little out of practice here. But this is going to be the Merkur Pierre Paulin Chronograph. This is the box it comes in. So I believe most of the Merkur watches, that's a hard word to say, come in this particular case, which is always nice. It's a really cool little travel case. So let's check out these goodies inside here. Okay, we've got the watch, which this is not how it comes. I'll explain that in a second. Little hang tag with some Chinese writing on there. Let's see what we got in here. Lots of booklets and things. All right, this is the strap that it comes on. I'll go over that in just a second. Nice microfiber cloth there. Oh, those are always handy to have. And it looks like they've actually timed this watch for us and regulated it, which is really good. Plus 9 seconds a day, and I have found that to be fairly accurate. All watches tell time, some tell a story. Merkur Diver's Watch. This is not a diver's watch. This is going to be just, I guess, some information about where you can purchase this product. Then you have a bunch of different colored hands, all interlinked. Very poignant for today, in today's time. And then I'm assuming this is the international warranty card. Yes, it is. I'm not going to show you that. And then this is where I purchased it. I believe Infinite Time. I'm not sure if they're an eBay retailer or not. That's where I did purchase this, from eBay. And boy, guys, I'm sorry about my gloves. They're getting a little dirty. They were brand new white. I changed them out from those gross looking gloves I had when I first started the channel. But they've need a little bleaching. And then there is a manual, which is, I guess, for every Merkur watch that they manufacture. It looks kind of cool. I guess many different languages there, but nobody uses this anyway. And so on to the watch. This is going to be the Pierre Paulin. It's a Merkur watch, even though it doesn't say it on there anywhere. This is a chronograph watch. It is 38 millimeters, a thickness of 14.5 millimeters, lug to lug of 47 millimeters, a lug width of 18 millimeters. Not on a bracelet today. I've got it on a Benchmark Basics leather strap. It actually comes on this leather strap, kind of a pinkish cream colored. And I gotta be honest with you, it's somewhat crappy. I don't feel like this is going to hold up over time, but I will certainly throw in a video here showing it on the wrist, because I'm actually not really good at doing that, since I always change out my straps all the time, and you guys don't get to see it on the original strap that it comes. But obviously I'm showing you that video right now. Nice little etching of Pierre Paulin on the buckle. Yeah, just... not overall great quality on this particular strap. It is very comfortable though, but you can see it's almost like glued, like leather, faux leather. I don't know. I feel like this is gonna fall apart, which is why I changed it out. So this watch is, in my opinion, a watch for people that really want to like the Seagull 1963, but they just can't get into it. And that could be the writing on it, the colors, because it's certainly an unusual looking watch, not to everybody's taste, but the size, the 38 millimeter size, it is really attractive to a lot of folks, and the fact that it's a chronograph makes it even more special. Now, this is going to be powered by the Seagull 2901 movement, which is basically the ST 1901 movement, with one minor difference, which I will show you once I show you the case back. But this is going to be an acrylic crystal. And a lot of you guys, when I say this is kind of the perfect watch, a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, no way, man. It's acrylic. You're going to scratch the crap out of that. You're just going to scratch it to death. It's going to be unreadable. And I used to be like you, but I have a watch, a Fortis Marine Master from the late 60s that has an acrylic crystal. Yes, it's nicked up, but it kind of makes it look cool. In that regard, and I don't think you're going to have to really worry about that. And the more beat up the crystal looks, the more vintage style that this is going to give you. So I think that's really, really neat. So Merkur is really famous for homaging Seiko primarily, and so when I saw this watch, I was like, okay, they're not homaging anything. But then I started to do some research, and it looks suspiciously like the Hamilton Intramatic Auto Chrono. That's a 40 millimeter watch with 20 mil lugs. It looks very, very similar to that, although I don't know why you would homage a Hamilton, but I also don't really know why you would homage a Seiko either, so I don't know. I guess that's their angle they're going with. But like I said, I was looking for a watch that was a Panda style, that was a smaller chronograph that I could substitute while I was waiting for the Laurier Gemini, whenever that should come available. So it's an all 316L stainless steel case. There's a high polish on the sides. The top of the lugs are brushed. That is different from the Seagull 1963, although I do believe this is the same case as the Seagull 1963, the one with the acrylic crystal, except it has been brushed in certain areas where the Seagull is all polished. 3 buttons to fiddle with today, 2 chrono pushers, and then you have the crown with Pierre Paulin raised up. Very nice there. It's always nice to have a signed crown. The winding of the movement is very smooth. This crown is very grippable. It winds really nice. I haven't had any issues at all. Just absolutely fantastic in the way that it operates. It feels smooth. It feels like it's quality. Sometimes with the Seagull 1963, you know, you're hit and miss of whether you're getting, you know, one that's real or fake. That argument that's pretty much ridiculous at this point. But the winding, really fantastic, pretty much buttery smooth, and really this particular crown, it seems much heavier than the crown on some of the other watches that I have that have movements that are similar to this, and it just feels like it's more quality, even though it is the same movement. So whatever they did with the crown here, it is certainly well appreciated. So to operate the chronograph, you just push this top button, and the chronograph ticks away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. This watch and movement does have a 41-hour power reserve, which is pretty nice, almost 2 days worth, but it's one of those watches, hand wind, not automatic. You're going to want to wind it up every morning to keep it running, and plus I believe it was 9 seconds a day. That's pretty good deal for a hand wind watch there. You've got all applied indices on the dial. They are high polished, and there is a little dab of C3 Superluminova at each of the indices, and there is C3 Superluminova on the hands, which brings me to the lume shot. So really, for the amount of lume that's on this watch, which is not that much, it's actually really bright. The hands hold on for quite some time. The indices, those little dots, they really don't. But all in all, this lume really good for the price. So on the dial just below the 12, you have Pierre Paulin, whoever that is. I don't know who that is. Some French guy, I guess. Then just above the 6 o'clock marker, it is mechanical chronograph, 21 rubies, and that is 21 joules. So there's 21 joules in this movement. And there you have the beautiful seagull movement with this display case back. I don't know why you would ever cover up this movement, although Laurier has done that with the Gemini for some reason, not sure. But yeah, so this is the same movement that is in the Laurier Gemini with one difference, and if you can see it, I don't have something to point with, but there is a swan neck regulator for fine-tuning this particular watch, which is I'm sure how they got it so well regulated at the factory. But the swan neck regulator actually makes it much easier to make fine adjustments to the beat of this particular movement. So all in all, pretty good. It doesn't say Merkur anywhere on this watch, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it, but it's a Pierre Paulin Chronograph, mechanical, 30 meters of water resistance, so don't do anything but wash your hands, and that is probably also not recommended. And the model number is T-P-001. So why do I feel like this could be the perfect watch? Well, the size is awesome. 38 mil in a chronograph. That is, you know, old school Speedmaster size there, the size going to the moon. I think that's perfect. The smaller the chronograph, the better for me. I think it just fits the wrist so well. And 18 mil lug width, so you're gonna get a very nice thin strap, nothing too bulky. So it's gonna maintain that elegance on your wrist. There's a lot of options in 18 millimeter NATO straps, and you know, leather straps and faux leather straps, things of that nature, that just work so well with this watch. I love the acrylic crystal. I think it gives a little distortion there. It looks fantastic. And the price is really good. It was around $238 for me, which is much more than you guys would pay for it. But I got it from an eBay seller in the United States because I didn't feel like waiting for it to come from China. And also with, you know, China shipping, sometimes watches, especially watches like this that have movements that are very intricate, they don't travel well from China. So, you know, I didn't want to take that risk or anything. What do I not like about this watch? Well, there's really nothing that I don't like. I don't like that it doesn't have a bracelet. That's one of the things that attracts me to the Laurier Gemini. I think that is just a beautiful bracelet that they do on that. And I'd like to see an option. I bought a crappy one off of Amazon, and it works okay, but it really doesn't do the watch justice. So that's why I have it on this leather NATO here. And of course, you know, you have the traditional, if you look at the running chronograph hand, it is a little bit herky-jerky, which is pretty par for the course for this particular movement. I think I got into a debate online with a couple of guys the other day that, you know, that they thought there was something wrong with the movement. I personally don't believe that that's the case. If you watch pretty much any YouTube review of a watch that contains the Seagull movement, the ST 1901 or 1903, all of the second hands, or all of the running chronograph hands are herky-jerky. So I don't know. It is what it is. But I think it works well. And to stop the chronograph, you just push this button, nice smooth pop, and then it is a flyback, or snapback, as it should have been called, or snapback. So yeah, guys, all in all, this watch is really fantastic. I really like it. It's a great size. If you really want to like the Seagull 1963, but you just can't get into it, look at this watch. You can get it from Merkur's website or from eBay, and that's how I stumbled across it. So yeah, guys, super cool. They also have a reverse Panda as well if you're not a fan of the Panda, but that's going to do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. There was just a couple of reviews of this watch online, so I wanted to get it out to you as soon as possible so you can get your grubby little hands on it. I'll see you next time.